This is Toss Talk, where it's all about yard games, having fun, and what it takes to create social entertainment. With your host and creator, Kelvin, on Toss Tunes Radio.
Yo, what is up? Hold on, that really didn't sound right. Hey, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of Toss Talk. And today we are playing BattleBagz. Yes, this game is a new take on that game. You remember this game, Battleship. You know, I sunk your battleship. You know, you're blind. You're just making random guesses on the board. These guys stepped it up a notch, made this game into a yard game. Yes, you're pretty much blind, and you can't see where you're throwing these bags, but their system that they have involved, you'll be able to get these bags close. Oh my gosh. I'm excited for this game, because if anything needed to be upgraded, it was Battleship. So, links are in the show notes. Check these guys out. Check this game out. This game is not quite ready to be sold yet, so you're going to have to keep up with it a little bit. So follow them on Instagram. They're going to be doing a Kickstarter very soon, and you're going to want to get your hands on this game set. So, hey, I got them on the line. Let's get into this chat.
Hey, this is Brian.
Hey, what's up, Brian? It's Kelvin.
Hey, Kelvin. How's it going?
Good. How you doing? Is the whole crew together?
You got Brian and Jeff. We lost our third buddy. He's the weather, so he's not joining us today, but he's here in spirit.
All good. All good. Yes, have him here in spirit.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, how are you guys doing? And where are you guys from? Where are you guys located?
Yeah, we're doing good. We all grew up in Atlanta, kind of in the suburbs around Atlanta. Have all left for a little bit, but made our ways back. So we all are scattered around kind of the Smyrna area and Marietta area, just a little bit north of Atlanta.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, we're both on the East Coast because I'm in Virginia Beach.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I actually have not been down to Atlanta. I've been actually meaning to actually go down there.
Yeah, you got to get down here sometime. It's definitely booming. A lot going on down here.
How's the weather down there right now? Because it's like freezing up here.
Yeah, it's been freezing for us. We are not fans of it. I definitely live in Atlanta for the warm weather. So
yeah.
It's been pretty cold here the last couple of days, but I guess we'll give a little flexibility at the end of the year. But
I hear you.
I'd rather be out on the golf course having it be a little warmer.
Yes. Oh man, I remember when it snowed down in Atlanta like not too long ago, and everybody was freaking out down there.
Yes, we are. I think the country's worst drivers in the snow.
Oh my God.
I think we call the last one Snowpocalypse.
Yes, it was. It was like a couple inches too. It wasn't even bad. Oh my God. Oh man. Well, let's hop into this. I am a fan of, all things yard games, and of course, scrolling through Instagram, I see your game pop up, and I'm excited to hear about it. Yeah, give me the background story. How'd you guys come up with it, and what led you to creating this game?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, for us, this has really been kind of an organic process, and really has been a result of the pandemic.
Wow.
We were realistically the three of us sitting around kind of when the pandemic first started on one of those virtual happy hours, which I think we've all gotten very tired of. But
yeah,
we were pretty much just sitting around bitching about how much the pandemic was no fun and trying to think of ways we could make it better. So we kind of were just throwing out a bunch of ideas. Really at the end of the day, it came down to none of us are doctors or scientists, so we weren't going to do too much to help the pandemic. But on the flip side of that, we are all very experienced and veterans at having fun, and knew that was something that people were missing out on. So
yeah,
we really just started on a mission of let's keep it simple and try to create something that would help people have a lot more fun when this all ended. at that point in time, we had no idea what we were going to do or create, but we all just said, that's kind of an easy mission statement. Let's commit to it and see where it goes. So we talked to some of our friends. We started reaching out and really just started to get a feel for what people were missing the most during the pandemic, and it always came back to just something that was really straightforward at the end of the day, and people just missed kind of chilling and hanging out. It wasn't these big plans or activities that they were missing. They really just missed hanging out with friends and family, socializing, eating and drinking, and playing games. So that's kind of when it hit us. We were like, let's create a new game that will help people hang out and chill, regardless of whether you're on vacation, throwing a party, tailgate, or just kind of hanging out in your backyard. Let's create something that will help with that.
So that's cool. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So then that's when the real work started, as far as figuring out what we were going to do and designing a new game. And, honestly, we tried to do everything right early on. We did market research, customer testing, design thinking. But at the end of it all, honestly, I randomly thought of BattleBagz while sitting on the porcelain throne, which is where I do some of my best thinking.
Always.
Yeah. So I was just sitting around and it popped into my head. And I was like, what if we did a spin of something that people really enjoyed growing up, kind of like a childhood game? And it kind of just boom, Battleship. That game popped into my head. A game I loved playing. And, I ran the idea by the other guys who were on board with it. And we've kind of just been full steam ahead with creating that type of game ever since.
Nice. Yes, it's cool. I didn't know you guys were that new, but I do like how you guys were brainstorming during the pandemic, because I've just been running all these yard game images and stuff like that. People have been looking for more yard games because they have been stuck at home trying to think of something to do with the family.
Yep.
So it is a good idea. You guys made something definitely unique, and a lot of yard games are like that. They're just, a twist on a different game or putting something new together. But I like what you guys got going here. It's really cool. Very, very creative.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what version are you on from the original concept right now? How new is it, or how are you refining it? What's going on?
Well, this is Jeff now talking. It's really tough to say what version we're on for sure. We've made so many small tweaks and changes along the way with the bigger concept changes. I think, though, we're probably on version 11 of BattleBagz. It's pretty cool to look back on. I mean, we're, as you can tell by version 11, we're a long way from where we started.
And are you guys actually in the market yet? Are you selling yet? Are you still gearing up?
No, we're still gearing up. We've really had to kind of go through some complex engineering issues. We've got to strike the right balance between high quality and low cost. That requires us to deal with a lot of competing forces. It's taken some creative engineering to solve those problems. Just a couple of examples. The barrier in the middle of our game needs to be really, really sturdy and stable so that it doesn't knock over or blow over. But it also needs to be extremely light so that it doesn't cost $100 just to ship our game. And then the screen on that barrier needs to be very aerodynamic so that the wind can blow through without blowing away the barrier. But it's got to be thick enough that people can't see through it, or the game will be ruined. So if we don't find the right balance on those issues, the whole game concept could be ruined. And so that's been tough but fun to solve those issues. And I think we're still finalizing some design aspects for our targets and our game storage, but I think we're about 90% complete with our final design.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be running our Kickstarter campaign is really how we're planning to launch into market, either at the end of April or right after that. So we're getting pretty close and really starting to gear up now.
I love that. Well, keep me updated. I'm more than happy to help you guys promote the Kickstarter and be involved. Because I do think this is a very cool game that I think some people really enjoy. Something different, having their backyard.
Yeah,
awesome. We appreciate that.
So, actually, how do you play the game? What are the rules going on?
Yeah, I will. I'll give you a little bit of an overview. So you start the game with two teams of two players standing on each side of kind of the barrier we have in the middle that blocks your line of sight to the other side. Unlike cornhole, it's a little bit different. Your partner is on the same side as you versus being across, from each other when you're playing cornhole. And then the playing field is kind of it's defined by the width of the barrier, and then you have about 6 feet behind it. That's kind of your full area that you can play in. And the way you start the game is each team has 6 targets on the playing field that they can set up in any design or pattern that you choose. So people really like to get creative with that. And the other team won't see how you set those up. Okay. And then so then what you do is the teams, they toss from behind their side of the playing field, trying to knock over all their opponent's targets. The first one to knock over all 6 targets is the winner. So what you do on each turn, teams get 4 tosses. So each player tosses twice in any order that you decide. It'll start to get strategic at times as you do that. And if you miss, your opponent tells you approximately how close you were to the nearest target on their side. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's where it starts to get interesting. So if your toss knocks the target over, it's removed. But the real exciting part is that the game progresses longer and longer. You really start to get a very clear picture of where all your opponent's targets are, even though you can't see them. And then it really starts to come down to more of the skill and precision to knock them over. So that's kind of the overall. We have all the nuances covered, things like rebuttals and overtime and how you get bags back, but I won't bore you with all of those.
No, you can get into it. It's all good.
No.
It's
we have all that covered. And then what we've really seen people enjoy about BattleBagz so far is it's extremely dynamic and involves the right blend of strategy and skill. And people really love to see how creative and sneaky they can get with how they're starting the game setup. So we can't wait until we launch this and then get to see, how creative people get with how they're setting up their targets and things like that. So, And then the last thing, with gameplay, we've also tried to create some fun twists on the rules and additional variations of the game that you can play. We have ones where you can combine 2 sets and make it kind of an expanded version, but really our favorite one is designed for a little bit more of our party-oriented crowd, and we call it BattleBagz. So
yes, I know where this is going.
So you replace the 6 targets with 6 beers, and when anybody knocks it over, you have to drink your full beer before you can take your next shot. So that one can get pretty wild pretty fast.
I love it.
But that's a pretty fun twist on the game for people who are more of a looking to have a really good time environment.
Yes. No, this is such a cool concept. Because I've seen Battleship where it's tabletop and you do kind of a drinking game with it.
Yeah.
But this is actually just something different. I mean, I've also seen a giant wooden battleship that you could play too. But having a game like this that's more portable, but then also kind of involves a nostalgic game. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen that giant board one you're talking about. Which is really cool. But we want this to keep it kind of fast moving enough.
Of course.
Get, bogged down. So we want we tried to make it so a game typically only lasts 10 to 12 minutes. So tons of people can get to play. People can cycle through. And then obviously we also wanted the game to be relaxed enough that you can have a drink in one hand and be tossing with the other. So it's a very oriented game.
Yes, if you have a drink in your hand while you're playing, that's a sign of a true yard game.
Yes, exactly.
But I also just you kind of got to think a little bit and have kind of remember, how far you kind of threw it and get a little strategic in there, and anybody can play. So good job on that, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So as you're like introducing this to, friends and family, what are some like common misconceptions they're coming up with, or what's their random feedback they're giving you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, we've gotten, I would say, really, really good feedback as people get to play the game. But I think, the biggest misconception that we run into is that before people get to play, they
Yeah.
really think it's going to be like an overly complicated or difficult game. So people kind of assume that because you're tossing blind or because there's a fair amount of strategy involved, that it must kind of be a hard, more complex game that are, really for your true yard game, fanatic.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But that just really isn't the case, and people get to realize that once they get to play the game a little bit more. So we really aren't trying to make a niche product. We want this to be something that anyone of any skill can kind of jump right in and start enjoying. And we've really tested the game across multiple age groups and skill levels, and found that both avid gamers as well as first timers have a lot of fun playing, and sometimes the first timers are actually pretty darn good at the game. So
Nice.
we've been working on that. We also made kind of some different skill levels in our variations of gameplay. So we have
Okay.
BattleBagz beginners for people who might be younger or just starting to play for the first time, or for people who are really starting to get good. BattleBagz Pro, which it's really easy. It's the same game, but you just make the rules a little different to make it more difficult. So that's really been our biggest misconception. I think the other one that's kind of funny is there are people in our demographic for this game that
Yeah.
probably didn't play BattleBagz. So on the
Oh no.
Battleship.
Battleship. Yeah.
So the younger people are like, "What's Battleship?" So
Oh
that's a
no.
fun, but they still love the game once they get to play it.
Oh my gosh, we're just getting older here,
Yeah, we're
guys.
getting up.
Too fast.
I know, right? Oh, but yeah, that actually, when you mentioned that, just from me like looking at it, I was like, it could be a little complicated. I kind of get what's going on, but as you start to explain it, I really do get the full picture of how it can be a little bit easy and more strategic. So I can see how people are getting that misconception going on there. So,
Yeah,
dang,
yeah.
yeah.
It's really fun to watch people once they get to play it. Kind of the light just clicks, and it's really simple and fun to play.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of these games, and just like with a lot of products, you definitely just have to in your marketing just really be upfront and
Yeah,
say exactly what needs to be done, just to clear all that up so people are interested in it.
exactly.
Um, so what are you guys currently excited about in the business? I mean, you got your Kickstarter coming. Are there any like little things that you guys accomplished that's getting you really excited? Like what's coming up?
Well, like Brian said earlier, we're about 6 months out from launching the Kickstarter campaign and hopefully
Yeah.
making it a dream a reality. That's the most, I think, the biggest exciting thing for us. We're feeling really confident in the following we've built to this point and the progress we've made on the design. But we know we have a lot of work left to do over the next 6 months.
Yeah.
We do have a Kickstarter goal in mind, but of course, the hope is to blow right past that and have a really successful Kickstarter campaign and make this more than just one Kickstarter. I think
Yeah.
more importantly than anything specific to BattleBagz, we're really hopeful and excited that there might be a little light at the end of this tunnel here with regards to the pandemic, given this vaccine.
Yes. Hmm.
When we started this during the pandemic, I don't think we thought we would have been talking to you in December about the pandemic still presenting. So that's been, so one, a lot of headaches on
Yeah.
the business side, but two, just generally. And so the idea that we could get some sort of normalcy back in 2021 is really exciting for us. And we really just can't wait to see everyone get back together safely, hopefully with a BattleBagz set and playing their BattleBagz game and really enjoying
Yeah.
it with their family and friends.
I hear you, man. Yeah, the pandemic's just taking a toll on everybody, and I do like how at least the yard game industry has kind of seen steady sales because people are staying at home, but in general, it's also hard to get product these days because manufacturing is taking forever, and things are getting delayed. So yeah, it's a strain on everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been tough, but hopefully like we said, we've got a little light at the end of the tunnel, and we can just stay safe and healthy until then, and then hopefully bring everyone BattleBagz in 2021.
Hey, well, at least the pandemic made you think, and now you have a product, so that's exciting as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll be right back after this short break. Hey, have you heard of giant Pong basketball? Yes, even basketball has its own backyard game. It is truly amazing. And this company has even put together its own virtual yard game competition featuring, giant Pong basketball. It is very cool to see all these players compete in the 60-second challenge. And our listeners today will receive 10% off their purchase of a giant basketball set using promo code TOSSYARD. That is promo code TOSSYARD. Links are in the show notes. Check it out. If you enjoy basketball, you'll enjoy this game. All right, so welcome back. Let's get back into this chat.
Oh, man. Let's move on to the random question round. You get the listeners get to know you guys a little bit better. First question. Brian, you can go first, and then Jeff, you can go. All right. So, first question. If you're having a party, what is your go-to side dish to make?
Oh man, so I gotta say, out of the three of us, I'm usually the guy that shows up with the alcohol versus side dish. But I guess if I had to pick one, definitely pigs in a blanket. I love just kind of those quick one-biters. I'd probably eat way too many of them, but seems like you're not eating too much when you take them down.
Of course. Jeff, what about you?
Well, Brian took my top two there with booze and blankets. So I'll give you my number three. Would have to be a chicken dip.
Yes. That is a good one. It's so filling. So you just eat that. Like I just sit at the party and just eat that all day.
Yeah, exactly. You can't stop eating it. You're in the corner.
Oh my God. Question number 2. What is your favorite backyard game to play besides, BattleBagz?
Yeah, obviously it's always BattleBagz is our first game. But no, I've kind of liked, if I'm going for more of an active game, I think all of us across the board are somewhat traditionalists in the games we love. So I'm a big spike ball on the beach kind of guy. So if I'm not trying to relax and just socialize and want something a little more high paced, I've always loved that game and feel like everybody can feel like they're a great athlete when they're trying to play some spike ball.
Nice. Jeff, what about you?
I do enjoy a spike ball on the beach, but I'm probably the slowest paced of the three of us. I'm big on cornhole. I like cornhole, the laid back nature of it, social nature of it. And you can always have a drink in your hand. And that was one of the things that kind of was a big inspiration for BattleBagz, was to do something that you could be social and never had to put your drink down during.
I like it. For me personally, I love playing bocce, but just as you say, cornhole, I've been playing so many games and have gotten away from cornhole that sometimes when I go back to playing, I'm like, oh yeah, sometimes cornhole can be fun. Forget about this.
I know. And I would say, it's been amazing for us to, jump into this space and see how many creative games and inventors there are. It's so cool.
My God.
A lot of them are smaller and on the rise like us, and it's been really cool to see what everyone's been doing. So we love kind of, now that we're in this space, we get to see everything everyone's working on, and there's so much cool stuff that everybody.
Yes, I know.
Together.
And welcome to the yard game world. And as for me, interviewing everyone, everybody's really cool. But I didn't expect to be up almost the 50 episodes so far, in all different games. And I'm like, wow, there's so much more to go to them than finding people like yourself. I'm like, this is just really cool. So many creative people out here. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's great. We were checking out your list, and it's like, you have the big names like a Can Jam on there, or more startups. You have games where I think there's one where I don't know if he's a teenager yet, but like the
knock 'em, yes.
All the way to, people who are retired that are getting into the yard game world. So
yes, the list is
really excited about the space and what we're excited about with that.
I know. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm excited for your game as well. Third question: if you had to get rid of a yard game or a sport, what would it be? As we talk about all the games.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're kind of the new kids on the block, so I don't want to be making any.
I know, right?
But, I would say, and this is probably a cop-out answer, so I'll make Jeff give the real answer. But I would say, I would love to get rid of all the knockoffs to kind of the original games. I hate seeing,
I like that. Yeah.
There's so many entrepreneurs that put in hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and then these big companies just come in and knock them off just by making a small tweak. I hate seeing that. I think on the spike ball front, I saw one game that I literally think they called it like Slam Sphere. So they just took the two words and made them slightly different.
I've seen that. Oh my god!
Come on, like if you're gonna try it, at least try to be a little sneakier. But that one's tough for me to see. Is people put in a lot of hard work, and then these big companies just use their might and their ability to get around patents or any protection
That's well said. I've seen a lot of it too. Even sometimes trying to like interview people, I'm like, "Are you the original creator of this?" Or so we got to make sure I get the right people.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky on that front because Jeff's a lawyer during his day job, so he helps us make sure we're not going to get in any trouble for stealing games or ideas. And I think BattleBagz is obviously very unique in the game space, so we don't have any trouble there, but it helps us having a lawyer on board.
Of course. Jeff, what about you? What are you getting rid of?
Well, I think I'm gonna have to give you a diplomatic answer too. Sorry, man.
Okay, all good.
We're too with
I love it.
Kickstarter coming up.
Don't ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, exactly. We're also all sports junkies. I think we can find enjoyment in any sort of competition, which is part of the inspiration for BattleBagz is casual competition amongst friends. Our third partner, Dave, is actually a professional baseball player. Baseball player. So we all are big into sports, support it all, and love seeing the competition and hope that people can find some sort of competitive satisfaction out of BattleBagz as well.
Very cool. I like it, guys. Very politically correct. Good job.
I would say most of the time we're not very politically correct.
All good.
We want everyone to like that.
Oh, man. Actually, speaking of baseball, I just found a cool baseball game, like an actual one called Mayan Baseball that looked pretty cool. I've been still trying to do a little bit more research on that, but I was like, wow, baseball yard game. Finally, besides like wiffle ball.
Yeah, no, that's exciting to hear. We'll have to check it out. David and I were both big baseball players growing up. I did not make it to the big, so I would love some backyard baseball.
Yes. Oh man. Fourth question. Would you rather vacation at the beach, the mountains, or in the big city?
Nice. Yeah, this is an easy one for us, and I think it's going to be the same across the board because when we hang out with each other, we always have the same answer. So we're 100% beach people out of those three options, but I'll confirm whether I'm right on that.
Yes. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, well, there's a reason we've all been friends since high school. I think you're hearing a lot of the same. I'm also a beach guy. I'd say the backup would be the lake. Just something about being able to be out on the water, hang out with your friends. There's something relaxing about it. Puts everyone in a good mood.
That's true. I mean, it also depends a little bit on what you're doing. I personally love the beach as well, but sometimes I like going to a nice city to actually just go like eat some food, like go on like a food vacation.
Oh yeah,
for sure. There's foodie trips to be had for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, when you make your trip to Atlanta, we'll take you through the food scene because it's phenomenal. I've done some work up in Virginia Beach, and I can, with a lot of confidence, say the food scene in Atlanta is better.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So much for not ruffling feathers.
Yeah.
Our Virginia Beach.
Oh man. Oh, last question. Name a hobby that you no longer do anymore.
So I would say, for me at least, it's just a good game of poker. I think that.
Oh my gosh.
So
Actually, no, this is just funny because literally, like, I've been watching nothing but poker for like the last 3 weeks, and I'm like, why did I ever stop playing poker? I want to play now.
Yeah.
That's just so funny you say that.
We were totally those guys too. Like when we were in high school, the World Series of Poker was like big time. It was popular.
Yeah.
So, we were pretty much on a weekly cycle of being in our parents' basements, playing some poker, maybe trying to sneak some adult beverages that we weren't supposed to have. But I definitely would not mind bringing back just some group of friends, getting together,
Yes.
a few hours playing poker. I always love that.
I love that. Oh man, that's so crazy you say that. I've literally just been on a poker binge watching and going back to some old episodes on YouTube of some Phil Ivey, some random stars, do some big bluffs. I'm just I just got into it for no reason. I have no idea why.
Phil Ivey is always my favorite player for sure.
Oh man, Jeff, what about you?
Well, I used to play in a basketball league on Wednesday nights. The pandemic obviously has gotten in the way of that, and so that hasn't been happening for about 9 months.
Yeah.
And then I think, and for Brian and I both, free time is kind of sparse these days. We're spending a lot of time on BattleBagz. We still have our day jobs, and we use our free time to really try and push the product forward.
I hear you. I know. I coach soccer, and I also play in an adult men's league as well. And I haven't even been working out because I haven't been able to go play. So yeah, the pandemic's gotten to me as well with that. I'm just sitting in the house these days.
Yeah, no, we're all chomping at the bit for sure.
Yes. Well, that's good. Some good answers, guys. Gotten to get to know little background for you guys. I like it. I just have another couple questions for you.
Yeah.
So, looking back from when you guys were first, deciding everything and coming up with the game, and starting, the business, what's one thing that you would have done differently, or maybe you wish you would have known? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, no, I think for us, definitely the biggest thing I wish we had done more of and done sooner is, when we started this process, we were like, all right, let's just keep it between the three of us. We'll learn everything, we'll learn it on the run. And once we finally started running into a lot of things that we obviously didn't know, because this is our first time doing it.
Yeah.
We got a little more, I would say, humbled and started asking people for help.
Yeah.
And, I would say it's been shocking as far as everybody is willing to take time with us, walk us through things they've done, whether it's similar or not. So I would say I wish we had been less shy to start and more open. And I would suggest everybody do that as far as just kind of go tell your friends and your family and your broader network that, look, I'm trying something new and I'm learning. And if you have anybody you think would talk to us, just send them our way or let us try to connect with them. And I would say it's expedited our process and our learning immensely. We've gotten to talk to other people who have gone through Kickstarter campaigns, both successful and ones that have failed. So we've gotten to learn about that. We've gotten to talk to other inventors of, ideas that are nowhere close to a card game, but it's still been helpful. We've gotten to talk to other yard game creators. So I would just say be very out there, put yourself out there. And it's always shocking how many people would love to talk to you and help out. And it's helped us a ton.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. I'm glad you guys had that insight. And things like that don't stop. I mean, as you keep moving forward with your business, you're still going to need some help and bounce questions off of people. So yeah, that's some good insight for you guys.
Yeah, no, I recommend it to everybody, and yeah, it never stops. You always want to keep learning, otherwise you're probably leaving something on the table.
Yes, yeah. As an entrepreneur, it's adapting and always learning because it never stops. Oh man. All right. So last question for you guys, as new or up and coming yard game entrepreneurs, what is your mantra or quote that you're living by, or inspiration even, that gets you up ready to get this game completed so you can start selling it?
Yeah. So I guess on our trend of being overly diplomatic, I think we have two mantras.
Two. I like it.
We tried to live by. First one is very serious to us. So the first one is, we literally just kind of have a mantra of, if we're not having fun anymore, we should do something else. And that's really important to us. I know it sounds simple, but we truly kind of try to live it out with BattleBagz. So, we committed to each other very early on, and obviously it's important to us to make sure our friendship doesn't get hurt or anything like that is much more important. So, we committed very early on that during our journey in BattleBagz, if we ever stop having fun with the game, we're just going to scrap it. We're going to stop playing and, stop trying to bring it to market and find something else to do. So literally every couple of weeks, we all get together, just the three of us, and we just do nothing except just replay the game. And we make sure that BattleBagz is still fun to us, so that we're truly kind of committed to our cause. And I think that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs get so caught up in, all the buzz and opinions from other people that, they can get to the end of their journey and have a successful product, but they're almost not as proud of it as they want to be, because, they changed it so much just to please everybody.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty important one to us. So we're never going to stop having those, just, the three of us get together, we have a couple drinks, we play the game, we don't do any work. We just say thumbs up or thumbs down is BattleBagz. Still fun to us.
Oh man, I love that. What's number two?
Number two is a much lighter hearted one. So there's a country song. It has a lyric that's just all I need to do is put a drink in my hand. And like we mentioned, BattleBagz to us is all about the social, the fun aspect of it. So, it's really around, living out our game and being social and fun people. And, we designed BattleBagz with that in mind, and obviously want people to have as much fun as we are with the process. So that's the other one, just to keep us fun and upbeat as we go through this process, because we're definitely going to run into hurdles. We're going to have our times where we feel like this isn't going to be all we want it to be, but it's we want to bring that fun to everybody and let them have as much fun as we are.
Nice. I like it. Sounds like you guys have a good head on your shoulders just for keeping it going and just keeping the group together, because that's what I'm hearing, is that you guys are having fun doing this, and that definitely will translate through your product. So I love that, guys. I love that. Man, well, I could probably talk to you guys forever, but
well, next time you're we got poker and restaurants on board.
Yes, that sounds like and BattleBagz. That sounds like an amazing vacation. I want to do that. Oh, well, that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I'm here and around if you guys ever want to just hit me up for any questions, got any ideas you want to run by, and I'm definitely here to, help market and make sure you guys are successful and get it out there. So
absolutely. We appreciate that, and really enjoy being on here and everything you're doing, kind of bringing all this to life. And, once we start bringing BattleBagz to market, we'll definitely get you on so you can play around with it.
Yes, sounds good. Good luck with everything, and I'll be in touch, guys.
Sounds
we
great.
Really appreciate it. Great talking to you.
Yes, you too. Bye. All right, that was Brian and Jeff, part of
the BattleBagz crew, owners and operators. Man, like I said, these guys are definitely all about their game, and I just love the friendship that's going on there, and the fact that they're together and trying to make this thing work. And this is a pandemic game, so if the pandemic didn't happen, this game might not exist. Trying to make light of it, guys. Yeah, they're going to Kickstarter very soon. I will definitely get out some more information as soon as I have it available, and follow them. Links are in the show notes. Follow their Instagram, follow their website, and keep up with it if you're excited about a brand new game coming to market, BattleBagz, little spin on Battleship. So I have a lot more fun stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.